Hello gamers, welcome to another edition of Tonight on Mage Hammer's Game Table, where tonight I am continuing my series of solo dungeon delves featuring a different system each time. This time, Warrior, Rogue, and Mage, a fantasy role-playing game by Michael Wolff. This was published back in 2010, I believe. Yep, back in 2010. It's free downloads from his Stargazer Games website. There's about 5 supplements for it. One that adds more magic items, more combat options, spells, and races and so forth than are what here are in the core book. I've had this system for quite a long time. I even made some characters for it a while back. I think I played a little solo just to kind of get a feel for the system. I really admired the system and for a lot of reasons. Obviously, every system has some of its glitches, but ultimately, I think I borrowed a lot from this in my own designs going forward over the past, 14 years or so that I've been designing my own role-playing games and other games. So anyway, I thought it would be a good place to kind of show it some love and actually get it to the table, like, full on. And so here I am. Hopefully, I'm playing it right, as always. I didn't see a lot of how to plays online or the questions and so forth are more like reviews, not necessarily the rules. And I didn't really take the time to reach out to Michael Wolff. I believe it's still active in many different places. He's mostly known as Stargazer online, if I'm reading the internet correctly. Anyway, so here we are. We're going to create a random mission, dungeon delve, and I'm going to do 3 characters into the dungeon using the Warrior, Rogue, and Mage system. So I'm not necessarily going to go over the system necessarily. I just want to point out a few things. You'll be able to see how the system works as I go. Pretty much, the resolution mechanic is a single D6, which is intriguing to me. Always has been, and I think it's interesting. D6 are my favorite dice to design with. So, of course, I'm drawn to systems that use D6s. And in fact, this was probably one of the first systems that really showed me that you can do a system at D6 only. So, I guess technically West End's games Star Wars with the D6 system was the first one that really showed me you can just do a full system of D6s, but I guess Tunnels and Trolls too. I guess I digress. Anyway, so our heroes for today are Fando Luckfoot. Okay, he is a halfling. There are no classes in this game. It's a classless game, but and there are 3 attributes: Warrior, Rogue, and Mage. So I really like that aspect of this game as well. The actual quote-unquote class names are actually attributes in this game, so it's kind of cool. And obviously, you can pretty much guess they tend to lean towards Warrior strength, Rogue is dexterity, and Mage is intelligence, and so forth, or wisdom. Then we have Gryffindor Shieldhammer. She is a dwarf fighter, pretty much. Well-armored Warhammer, of course, shield. So that's her. She kind of leads this band. And then Caladale Lazodon, my quote-unquote magic user, though we do not actually have classes, as I mentioned. But he has 12 mana. Mana is going to be represented by these game tokens here. Each one of these gray tokens are a fate token. Fate tokens work pretty much like bennies or bennies in Savage Worlds or grit in my beloved Tiny D6. So I'm going to use these little tokens for those. I'm going to spend those as they will. And because they already have this token system in place, or this fate system in place, I will not be using my DM Scotty's luck dice mechanic, because fate's going to take the place of that. All right, so those are the heroes. This is the system. A few notes about where we're going. So let's get started. Warrior, Rogue, and Mage. I have not leveled these characters up, so they are starting at first level. We're going to go to our handy-dandy Axbane's Deck of Many Dungeons random quest generator. 7, slay all monsters. So you have to clear it out. Okay, cool. I guess as I go, I guess I'll go with that one. I haven't had done that one in this series yet, I don't think. So we're going to do that. Let's see if there's an obstacle that is reasonable. 12 fanatic minions. Yeah, so all the monsters, they need to die. They won't retreat. How's that? Excellent. All right, so they must slay all the monsters. So I think as I go, depending on how long things go, I will determine a certain level that they need to hit. Like of the dungeon, like second level of the dungeon maybe, or if the first level of the dungeon's bigger, or if the first and second are really short, we'll go into a third and try to wipe out a number of rooms and monsters. The monsters, of course, are generated by my Axebane's Deck of Many Dungeons, whether they exist in a room or not. So we're going to go for that. And so that's how I'm going to play this game. Here we go. All right, so my heroes are going to assemble outside the entrance to a delve. And they go down the entrance to the delve, and this delve has plenty of doors. So they walk down the stairs into the main room, and we're going to have them to be a bit more cautious than some of my last episodes, folks. So Fando is going to go up to the first door. He has awareness. I'm going to say that he uses Mage to listen at the door here, and so he's going to roll a d6 and add 2 to it, and I'm going to say, well, let's see if there is any noise first of all. Oop, there might be noise right on the other side of that door. There might be monsters. See, the monster icon indicates a monster exists there. So let's see what that monster is. 56. Ooh, I don't really have stats for that. Let's shift up. Yeah, we could do that. We'll shift up. I'll roll 1, 2, 3, shift up, 4, 5, 6, shift down. We're gonna shift up. Okay, cool. So we'll do that. And so it's possible that he could hear these things. So he's gonna add +2 to this. And I will say that they are probably pretty quiet, and he is unsuccessful based on the DL that I set. I set a 7 DL, so he got a 3, so that was not enough. So he didn't hear anything. He goes up to this door and listens. Oh, he's not gonna hear anything there anyway. Whoo, we got a lot of hallways off of this one. This might be a pretty big level, we'll see. And then, holy moly, hallways for days. All right, so I think when I get these kind of hallways, I'm going to roll randomly to see if this hallway ends in a dead end. This one is going to continue on. See if this one is in a dead end. 1, 2, 3, dead end. 4, 5, 6, it's not. It is a dead end. All right, so it's going to turn that way. So he doesn't hear anything down there either. So he doesn't hear anything any direct. Oh, wait. I forgot to check to see what kind of monster that would be. 35. That would probably not make any noise at this point. So he does not hear anything anywhere. He would roll to 1 anyway. So, well, where shall we go? Gryffindor asks. And Caladale says, well, I suppose that we could actually randomly determine. And Fando's like, yep, I don't really care either way. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to go to the right. Well, good. There's a monster that can help with their mission. Slay that monster. Okay. So they open the door, and they come around the corner, and they see monsters. These monsters are kind of, they have like pale eyes, and they have like rubbery skin, and they're wielding primitive weapons. They have come up against what are known in the business as troglodytes, underground dwellers. So they're coming up they're coming up here. The hallway turns this way, and then turns this way real quick. So they're in the hall here. That's good enough. Now, troglodytes have a stench, so if they close with them, I'm going to have them save against the stench. I'm only going to have them be 4 troglodytes with their primitive weapons. They're kind of grouped together there. And the heroes are coming around the corner, led by Gryffindor, of course. Oh, foul, stenchly creatures. So we're going to, and they just come at them, so it's initiative. I'm going to go party initiative for this game. I think it says to go party initiative, or it says, and it's just kind of very freeform in this game. Give you kind of a look inside this book a little bit. Whenever combat occurs, player characters and non-player characters act in terms of the start of combat. Sequence switches 2 sides of conflict as determined. This is called initiative. In most cases, common sense dictates the initiative. GM is unsure. Roll a die for each side. Yeah, I think it could go either way, so I'm going to roll a die, and because several of my party have awareness, I'm going to add +2. So troglodytes get 5 and they get 5. So I guess I could go old school and go simultaneous attacks, but let's roll again. All right, so the party wins, so they go first. So Gryffindor, she just heads down the hall and starts swinging that hammer. So she is going to... Now, the rules say you can move or attack or pull a weapon or something, one action. I'm going to go with the classic, mostly traditional, you can move and attack. That just seems to work best for my brain. It works best for every system I've ever played, so that's the way it's going to be. You can move and attack or take a double move. So she's going to move to attack. Now, because she is a dwarf and she's attacking with a hammer, she has warrior. She has a exceptional attribute which allows her to roll 2 dice and take the best of the rolls. So basically an early advantage roll before there was advantage. Or maybe advantage existed in another game. Sorry if my gaming history is a bit off. So she attacks and she gets to add 2 to this and her warriorness. I'm giving them a defense of 8 and they have rudimentary armor, which is only going to... armor normally is added strictly to the defense of the creature. However, I'm using a rule, the only optional rule I'm using is out of the Art of Combat download that he has, and that is that armor is damage reduction. That just makes the most sense to me for this system. Anyway, so we take the better of the 2 rolls, we add her warrior skill attribute to it, so that's 9, and then she gets +2 because she is skilled in blunt weapons, so that makes an 11, which overcomes their 8 defense, and she hits. Now, her warhammer does a 1d6 damage, I believe. 1d6 plus 1. So she does 3 damage to one of those things, and to this troglodyte, but she also has to make a warrior roll to avoid the stench. So damage trackers here. Okay, so that one's been hit for 3. All right, so there are hit points there. Now, she has to make a warrior check, which she can do with advantage. Oh, I'm just going to call it advantage. It's so much easier. And add her advantage to it. And I'm going to say that she needs a 9. She takes the higher one, 5 plus 11 right there. Yeah, so she is immune to their stench. Next up is going to be Fando. Fando is going to go over here into the corner and whip a dagger at this one. All right, so since he is using a rogue skill, because daggers use the rogue skill, he has exceptional attribute rogue, go figure, and he can add 4 to this roll plus 2 because he's skilled in it. Oh, also 6s explode in this game. Yeah, like Savage Worlds. If the roll's the highest, it explodes and you add it on. So he rolled a 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 2 for the skill 10. That hits this creature, does 1d6 minus 2 damage with a minimum of 1, and does 4 damage. Nice, almost took that one out. Then we have Caladale Lazodon. All right, so how spellcasting works in this game is that he's going to move up and he's going to cast a spell. Now, his spell book he has something called Fire Bolt, which is basically works kind of like Fireball, but he has to make a DL9 roll on that, which he should be able to make for this spell to go off. Either way, he's going to lose mana. He's going to lose 4 mana when he casts this spell. Now, Firebolt, let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's an area of effect spell. 3d6 damage and raise to 3 yards. Yes, so 3 yards is 9 feet. Yeah, so it's like basically 10 feet. So he's going to send it back here. He's going to hit these 3 here. He can spend extra mana points to increase the damage, but he's not going to do that. Or the radius, so he's not going to do that. So he's got to spend 4 mana. Spends 4 mana. And casts a spell, and it's a DL9. He is human, so he doesn't have that little extra attribute. He's going to roll this d6, add 6 to it. And I think that's all he gets to do. And he's got to get past a 9. 7. He fails to cast a spell and he loses his mana points. So there you go. I think I have a tradition of, like, if you have to roll for magic, like, you fail. I don't know. Maybe it's just my imagination. So that was his action. Now it's the creature's actions. So this one moves up. So we're going to get 3 attacks on the dwarf, basically. So they're going to attack. They're going to add their warriorness, which I'd say I have it as a 3. Their strength is a, we'll make it, 3. And so 7, 5, and 6, and I'll say they're skilled with their weapons, so 9, 8, 5, 8, 9, 10. Wait. Sorry, folks. Math and numbers do not stick in my brain. And plus, the bestiary in the main book, and I don't really see another bestiary out there, is very limited, and you can add, like, different racial that are in the Game Master section, racial bonuses and so forth. So I'm kind of making this up as I go along for these creatures, basing them off of other things. So anyway, so I'm going to say they have a 3 plus 2 is 5. So 9. 9 against Gryffindor's defense is 9. So this one hits. This is a 7, so that misses, and this misses too. Just misses. All right, so one of these hits. Their weapons, I'm going to have them do a d6. I'll say they have, like, clubs and spears. So the one that hit does 2. I think that's it. Now, her armor is a 7. So they pretty much have to explode this die to be able to get over her armor. So she absorbs that with no problem. Her shield doesn't count towards... Oh, wait. Her shield doesn't count towards the armor. Her shield counts towards the defense. Make sure I did that right. 8, 4, 4. Yeah, the shield is on defense 9. Yeah. So let me double check the chainmail, though, that she's wearing. And make sure I didn't add in the shield bonus to that by accident. Chainmail. Chainmail armor has a score of 5. And then I added 2 more for some reason. So I think the armor, I must have done that wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not going to take the time to do it. But I think 7's too high without the shield. So I'll make it 5 armor. Either way, her ability, or her armor absorbs the attack. So that brings us to initiative. Our folks get a 5, they get a 4, so we attack. The dwarf is going to, she's going to attack. She's going to attack the one she injured originally, and she hits, and she does a d6 damage, and that's only 2 damage, but that's enough to take this one down. All right, so this is removed from the battlefield. And then that brings us to Fando. Fando's gonna skirt around the wizard and attack this one here. I'm not gonna call it backstab, but I think I'll give him a +1 bonus for coming in from the side. So he's attacking with a sword this time, not a dagger. So he only gets 1 die. Then he adds 4, 5, 6, and 7. So he's attacking. He's needs a 7 added to this die. Ooh, it explodes. 10, 17, so he definitely hit this one. And this one only has 1 hit point, so it goes down because he can't not take it down. And then our wizard is going to cast a Magic Bolt, which they called Frostbolt in the core rules, but I thought Magic Bolt was more fun. And it is costs 1 mana and only needs a DL5, which pretty much guarantees they're going to get him. So he does. Hits this guy for a d6 -2 with a minimum of 1. So that's actually 3 damage to that creature, which wounds it but does not take it down. Now their attacks, they move up. This one goes and attacks the halfling. This one attacks the dwarf. The halfling is the purple die. The dwarf is the teal aquamarine. Ooh, 5 plus 5 is 10, so hits the halfling. and 9 hits the dwarf. So damage, D6, halfling takes 4, dwarf takes 5. So the dwarf just, her armor absorbs that attack, and Fando only has an armor of 2, so he actually takes 2 damage. So Fando is now down to 5 hit points. Okay. All right. Initiative. The creatures win. So they attack again. Same deal. Oh, they both missed. All right. Now the dwarf attacks. She hits, and she does a d6. Oh, 6. It explodes. 8. So that takes this one down. They only have 5 hit points. And then the dwarf, Fando attacks. Oh, yes, exploded. So 7 plus 6 is 13. So hits and does a d6 with his sword, 4 damage. And, oh, I forgot, they reduce 1 damage. But that's still enough. Not from magic, though. So either way, the troglodytes have been destroyed. For the heck of it, let's see if Fando made his stench check. He did not, so he would have been attacking at a -2. But unfortunately, he managed to hold his breath in time, and we don't have to worry about it. But if we run into troglodytes again, we will make sure that we have everybody make their proper saving throws. Okay, moving on. All right. So they move further down the hall. They come to a door. And we're going to see if the things beyond that door are able to be heard. 46. They are able to be heard. So let's see if Fando hears them. I'm going to give him a +2 because of thievery. Because he has that talent. Or that skill. It's Lucky Devil. I forgot to check that out. He has a talent called Lucky Devil, which I believe is a racial talent of some kind. Or maybe not. I wonder where I got that. Halfling. Yeah, no, I don't know what Lucky Devil is. Maybe I got it out of a one of the other additional things. So I'm just going to ignore it for now. So it's going to listen. 8 plus 2 because he has awareness. So 10. Oh no, 4, 8. So 8 total, right? He only has a 2 mage. You can hear things beyond the door. It says it has a very hard lock on it, but I think the things in there would keep their door unlocked. So they're going to burst open the double doors here. Burst open them double doors and head inside. And there's pillars. Of course there's pillars. Axebane's Deck of Many Dungeons loves pillars, folks. Loves the pillars. So let's add the pillars. They're always good for, they make the combat area a little bit more, interesting anyway. Cover and so forth, hiding and so forth. So, and then we're going to add an altar here. And at that altar, standing in front of the altar, are 3 creatures that should be familiar to most anybody who plays a fantasy role-playing game. Yes, folks, that's right. Orcs. So I'm going to say there's only 3 orcs, 1 per each of these guys, each of our heroes. For fun, I'll give one of them a bow, and the other 2 have axes. And of course, the bowman has an axe somewhere on his person. So these 2 are standing in front of the altar, and the bow orc is over here. All right, so our party bursts through the door. The dwarf bursts through the door. The halfling is there as well, and the mage is in the back. So, the wizard. So, we roll initiative. So 4, 3. So, the party barely wins. The dwarf is like, I hate orcs, and attacks here. Needs to get a 10 or higher. Oh, exploder. 8, yep, 14, actually 16 hits. And does a d6 +1 with her Warhammer. So that is 5 damage. They have leather armor, so that's 2 off, so they take 3. But their hit points are a little bit more, they're a little bit more robust than a troglodyte. So that was her attack. Next up, Fando, once again, having retrieved his dagger, will whip his dagger at this orc here. He gets to use his, oh boy. So he rolls 2, +4 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. So that is not enough to hit that orc. So the dagger clatters uselessly away. And the mage fires off a magic bolt at the one. Or wait, maybe he should do something else. He's going to lightning bolt, so that's going to cost 2 mana. And he needs to hit a DL7. So he hits the DL7. He does a D6 plus 2 damage with his lightning bolt. Zip. Ooh, it explodes. 8, 10 plus 2 is 12 damage. And they only have 11 hit points. So he takes this one down. That orc goes down hard. All right, now the orcs attack. So the bow orc steps out in front of the altar and fires a bow at the wizard, because wizards always got to go first. And the blue one will be this guy attacking Gryffindor, but he is berserk right now, which means also they have exceptional attribute. He gets to roll both of these dice for a warrior attack, and he gets +2 to the attack and +2 to the damage. So he explodes. So 10, so 12. So he definitely hits her. And then the bow misses the wizard because he has a, they have a rogue of 3, so that's only a 4, and he plus, so 6. So Calodale's defense, oh, a 6, so he did hit the wizard. Uh-oh, the wizard should have cast a defensive spell. So he's going to take a D6 damage from the bow. 5 damage. He has on padded cloth, so that takes off 1 hit point, so he's actually taking 4. So he is now at, he has 9 hit points, so he's at 5 hit points. Same as Fando. All right, so we roll initiative. And our party, they win. So they go before the orcs. All right, so the dwarf attacks 5, 10, 15, 20. And Fando gets brave and attacks the bowman. So the dwarf's going to attack first. Ooh, 9, 10, 11. So just hit this one. Does 1d6 plus 1 damage. Ooh, it explodes. 6, 7, 8 damage. Chris, are you seeing this? That's twice now that I remember a die exploding and I roll a 1 after. I know you keep track of those kind of things, so I'm helping you out on that. So that is 7, 8 damage on that one. So it is, oh wait, it kills it. Yeah, because that one's already injured. The other one took down, yeah. So there's 1 orc remaining. And it attacks Fando. Gets to roll 2 dice. Ooh, 5. Hits Fando. And does an additional d6 damage because it is now berserking. So 6, 7 damage with its axe that it whipped off its back. His armor is 2, so he takes 5 damage and he drops. So he's at 0 hit points. Can't remember what the rule is, but I'm going to have him make a warrior check. And if he fails his warrior check, he dies. And we'll call it difficulty 5. No, we'll call it difficulty 7. All right, cool. So now the wizard shoots off a magic bolt at the orc. And 3 plus is 9, so the DC is no problem. And spends a thing. Oh, I'm going to have that explode. So that is 6, 8 minus 2, 6. Not enough to take that orc down, but still pretty good. All right, so this initiative is going to be big because each one of the characters has a healing stone, which is my house rule. All right, so 4, yes, so they do go first, so that's good. So the dwarf is going to use her healing stone on the halfling, make herself vulnerable, but still going to do it, and heals 1d6 plus 1. So 5. So Fando's back up to 5 hit points. Then Fando is going to just basically recover this turn and stand up. And then the wizard is going to cast out a magic bolt. Needs to make a DL 5. So 2 plus wizard 6, 8. So makes it and does D6. Minimum of 1. That really stinks. So that orc does not go down. The orc sees the halfling stand up and attacks. 5 plus 10. So definitely hits the halfling. I'm going to go down. Ooh. 1, 2, 3. So Fando is barely standing again. So now it's initiative. And they win by a hair. So the dwarf attacks and hits and does D6 plus 1. Oh, yeah. So 9, 10 damage, taking down that orc. So orcs defeated. So they search around for some treasure, but that's really nothing. They don't find any really. There's a chest over here or a shelf over there. They find a few bric-a-brac, but nothing crazy. So they're following their mission. So they're going to go here. And they're going to decide which way to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are going to go straight through. So, and that door is locked too. But they're going to have to go through it. They're going to have to clear the monsters. So we've ruled this is a dead end already. And so, I guess we'll go this way. All right. So they enter into the room. Blood on an altar. Bones everywhere. He listens at that door there. 5. Let's see if this thing can be heard. Whatever it is. 55. Yes, can be heard, but he doesn't hear it. And so after a quick search of this room, they kick in the door to that room, and they find some more smelly monsters in it. So they're coming in through double doors this way, and there is a single door that way. And this room is skinnier. Yeah, that's good enough. And they come entering in this way. Oh, before they do though, while they were searching that room, Fando uses his own healing. Oh my gosh, so he has to use 2 charges. He only has 1 charge left. 4, 5, 6, so he's at 8 of his 9 hit points. Oh, no, that takes him back to full. He only has 7 hit points. It's Gryffindor has 12 hit points, and Caladale has 9 hit points. Caladale's injured, so he uses 1 of his, so that's 3 more, so that brings him up to 8 of 9, so it's good. Okay, so they are there. They enter in, they smell a familiar stench, and there are more troglodytes. So 4 of them. And a door over here. There's a door here. I guess it's probably like this. There's a door there. And they're coming in through these doors here. I guess for a top-down view, it's better to just lay my doors flat. All right, so it's initiative. We win barely. The party wins. So dwarf goes in and attacks. Has to make that save. Makes it no problem and attacks. 10, that hits. Does D6 plus 1. 5. These guys have they have 9. What did I say before? Oh, I'm giving them 9 hit points this time. I think I gave them that last time. All right, so that one gets hit for 5 damage. So it's injured. Then Fandor whips a dagger, comes in and whips a dagger at that one. So 7, 9 just hits these things and does a D6 minus 2, so that's 1 damage. So that one is up and running. Okay, and so that brings us now to the wizard, who I'm going to need, he's going to need to regenerate some mana points can't remember how they're... I think they have to rest to regenerate mana points. Mana points. Oh, he's got an extra spell and a spell implement. I forgot about that. So he can cast that out. Spell enhancement, casting spells, mana regeneration. After a good night's sleep, an hour's meditation will refresh mana equal to Mage attribute. So we can take a short rest and get some more points back. So they're going to do that after this encounter. He's going to fire off a lightning bolt at that guy. That's going to cost two mana. Or is it 3 mana? 2 mana. DL 7. So he really pretty much can't miss casting that spell. So he casts it and does 5 damage to that one. So he's working on the one that has the dagger in him. Okay. Now they attack. So this one moves up on the halfling. The halfling has to make a warrior 7, makes it, barely. This one, it's gonna attack the dwarf, and this is gonna come around and attack the dwarf. So these 3 are gonna attack the dwarf. They are adding, they're adding 4 to these. And I'm giving 2, so they're adding 6. So 10, 11, 9. And I think all of those hit. Ouch. D6 damage. So 9, 10. So the first one takes off. Armor absorbs all 3 of the blows. So her armor is going to be tough to get through. But that's the way it goes. And then the one attacks the halfling. Ooh. So it's 8 plus 6, 14. So definitely hit the halfling. Does a d6. 4 halfling's armor absorbs 2 of that. So it's down to 5 hit points. And it's initiative. The heroes barely win again. So the dwarf attacks the injured one. Oof. Yeah. Plus 8 is 11. So it definitely hits. Does damage. Oh my gosh. So roll a 1, 2. That's only 2 damage. Oh. And they don't really have any armor, I guess. They're not really wearing anything. So I haven't really been doing armor anyway. So that one's still up though. Then halfling's going to attack with a sword. Only gets 1d6. At 6, 11 hits. Does a d6 damage. 2 damage only. All right, well, that one's injured. So it's going to send a spell at that one. It's healthy. Only has 1 mana point left. It'll be a mana bolt. Pretty much makes the DC no problem. And does a d6 minus 2. So that is 1 damage to that one. So barely worth the mana points if you ask me, but that's okay. All right, initiative. Right. Oh no, Troglodytes. No, initiative. Troglodytes attack. No, initiative. What is going on? I think Troglodytes attack. So it's 3 on the dwarf. Oof, 1 hit the dwarf. These 2 missed. 8 and 8. Both missed. They need a 9. This one hit though. Damage. Oop, no damage. Attack the halfling. Oh. 8. Yeah, hit the halfling. D6 damage. Oh, his armor absorbed it. So there you go. All right, and then yeah, initiative. So they lose initiative. So the halfling is attacked and hit and takes 3 damage. Fando takes 3 down to 2 hit points. I'm not sure he's long for the world for some reason. 3 of them attack the dwarf. Gryffindor. Ooh. So 2 of them hit, 1 of them missed. And both do not get through his armor, her armor. And then it is their turn now. So the wizard doesn't really have much going on right now. Has a club and a dagger. So the halfling's going to attack with a sword. And he hits. Another 1. Did you see that, Chris? All right. And then rolls d6 minus 2 damage. Ew, 1 damage. That's enough to take his down, though. So you got rid of his opponent, finally. He's going to move behind this pillar to be able to backstab next round. Then And I'll add +2 to the damage for a backstab, I guess. Then we have the dwarf attacks, the one that she's been working on. She hits it. 2 damage, enemy armor, so that's enough to take it down. Wow. That is horrible. Okay. Now, they attack. Both miss. Initiative. They win again. They attack the dwarf, and they miss. No, wait. 6, 9. They hit. The one hits. And does, 8 damage. -5 is 3. So the dwarf finally takes some damage. So down to 9 hit points. Okay. Then they attack. She attacks. She gets it. Damage. Ooh. 6, 9, 10 damage. That's enough to take this one down. And then Halfling gonna back attack from behind. Give him +2 to hit, +2 damage. With a sword. Okay, so 4, 8, 10. So just hits. And then does, oh my gosh, 1 +2 damage, so 3 damage on this guy. And still up. No surrender. That's what that's what I rolled at the beginning. And then the wizard comes in and attacks with his club. He adds 3 to this, and he is skilled, so he actually adds 5. 10. So he hits. Club does 1d6. 5. That's enough to take him down. So the wizard finishes off the troglodyte. Ooh, and he needs to make a save. He made it. All right. So all said and done, they're down. And open a door. There is a monster. They see a hallway that leads to a double door. And that room does have a monster in it. Let us see what is in this room here before we're down this hall. Man, this first level of this dungeon is going to be the only level of this dungeon with the amount of monsters in it. Okay. So, metagaming, they have 3 more sets of monsters to go through here. I know what that monster is already. I already rolled it. And then that monster. And then I'm gonna call it a day, because I mean, this first level's been sprawling with a lot of combat. And so I guess that kind of makes sense too. Somebody wants to move into this dungeon delve. That's why they've hired the adventurers to come in and clear it. So they didn't want to have too big of a place. So they scouted out, found all these monsters, and said, "Go clear it out." All right, so we're putting our guys across the way, and they open a door, and across the way, they don't have time to wait an hour for him to gather his magic points. So, I'm probably taking a risk, but that's the way it goes. Fando is going to use a final healing to bring him back to full, but that's his no more healing. The other 2 are taking their chances. Let's see if the monster is on the other side. It is, humans. Well, welcome to our place. And the Gryffindor says, listen, we are here to ask you to leave. The true rulers, the true owners of this delve are willing to pay you to leave. Oh, really? How much? 200 gold. I would need to see that in writing, of course. Well, of course. Yo, Caladale, write it down. Are you sure this is our employers? Just do it. Okay. So he takes out some parchment, closes his spell book, and then on his spell book writes out a contract. And whom are we? Who are you? So we can put your name on the contract. Oh, I am Delala the Bandit. Delala the Bandit. The Bandit. You go by the... Delala is fine. Okay. So he writes it down. And so he says, take this to the village of Dolm and tell them that we sent you. I am Caladale Lazadon. Repeat it, please. Caladale Lazadon. Yes, here it is. And they shall pay you to vacate these premises. The dwarf takes the paper up to there. The bandit comes, takes it, looks at it. She and her three other bandits are there. Okay, all right. I think, yes, if that's important to you, we'll take the 200 gold. It's lean times. All right, don't be offended if we escort you out. Oh, of course not. So they walk out, back down here and out, and they send them on their way. And then so they negotiated and leave. So you don't have to kill things all the time, folks. You don't have to always be killing things. Then I know the mission was slay all it's slay all monsters, but those weren't monsters. And they didn't attack on sight. So they go here. I'm going to say this door is locked. We'll give our Fando a chance to unlock it. We could add 2 to this. I'm going to say it's an easy lock. So I'm going to say he only needs, yeah, he got it. All right, so they open a door and there's a venomous snake. Now, I'm pretty sure venomous snake is in the bestiary, in the core rules. Animals, snake, venomous snake, beautiful. So, they come around and the snake is curled up on the floor and they know they have to go through it, so they're going to go to get further on. So they walk, the Gryffindor is going to fire off a crossbow from the door at the snake. +4 to this. Ooh, it exploded. 10. Yes. Oh, wow. So definitely hit. And does a d6 +3 in damage. Oh, 4 damage. And the snake has no armor and that many hit points. All right. And then Fando whips a dagger. 6, I'm afraid, is not going to hit it. Oh, no. 4 +2 because he's skilled with... no, he's not skilled with dagger. He doesn't get the extra +2. So he misses. And Caladale is not even going to bother. So the dwarf runs down the hall, and we're going to roll initiative. They win. Gryffindor is faster than a snake, and definitely is going to hit it. And so does... Oh my gosh, the number of ones coming out of these dice today, driving me crazy. So that is only, with a Warhammer, 2 damage. But that's enough to smash the snake's head. Whoo, got lucky on that one. Forgot about the crossbow bolt. Then, let's see what this monster is, whether they came around the corner or not. Ooh. All right, so there's a creature in here. I'm going to give it, yeah, I'm going to give it like poison or something. Yeah. Wait. Chapter 6, yes, so poison. We're going to make it... Yeah, ooh. Yeah, we're going to make this thing... We're going to make this... I better do that. Better do that. All right, so coming around the corner... Cool, minis I don't get to use that often. Pretty sure I have them somewhere over the rainbow. Coming around the corner and growling, I'm only going to have 2 of these things. I'll give them a little more hit points than the other things. Because they're a little tougher. They're a different kind of thing. You'll see soon as they get them out there. You know what? This will do. And this will do. Sweet. Okay, so these 2 things are coming down the hall at them. 2 dogs, right? 2 dogs coming down this long hall towards them. And those dogs do not look hospitable. So, I'm gonna roll initiative. They win. So she ratchets her crossbow, pulls it up, and fires a crossbow down the hall. And hits. Now, let me see these things. It has dog stats in the bestiary, but these are a little bit tougher than usual dogs. But I'm going to use them pretty much. Yeah. All right, so yeah, well, so the defense will stay. So she hits with her crossbow, which does a d6 plus 3. Yeah, so 6 damage. They gave him that, but I'm going to give him a little bit more. So that one's still alive. It yelps in pain and starts forward even faster. The other party don't really have anything to do at this level, so the dogs come down the hall and they both attack the dwarf. She stands between them and her companions, and they attack her. All right, so they have +6 to these. 10 and 10 both hit. Now, first of all, they do a d6 damage each. All right, this one doesn't get over the armor. This one doesn't get over the armor either. If they get over the armor, she's gonna have to save versus poison. These things are death dogs, so they have like extra. They have a poisonous bite. All right, so now we roll initiative. Ooh, the dogs win again. So the dogs attack. Neither of them hit this time because they have a 6 to hit, 8. They need a 9, so they missed. The dwarf, she comes in and she attacks. So she hits one of them because their defense is 8. And she hits, and she does a d6 plus 1 with her warhammer. So that's 5. They don't really have any armor, so it's going to go straight up. So the one that was injured by the crossbow bolt, she smashes to the ground. The other one, the other, Fando is like, so Fando gets in there and attacks. Going to help her dwarf friend. So she's going to use her fate point to roll another die and add that to the or take the better of the two. So that's a little bit better. 4, 8, 10. So the hits does a d6 damage, 5, and that is not enough to take it down, but still good. And then the wizard unfortunately can't do anything currently, so it's initiative. The dog wins. So it attacks the dwarf. 3 plus 6 is 9. Just hits. And doesn't do enough to get past her armor. And then she attacks. Hits. D6 plus 1. So 5. That's enough to take the death dog down. So didn't have to save against poison, so that was good. The death dogs have been removed. They go around the corner and across the way. Let's see what's across the way to determine how this encounter is going to go. A giant snake. Well, the problem is they are ordered to destroy this snake. Because they're counting as a monster because it's giant. But they can't get across there. They can't get across the broken bridge. So they have a discussion. So if we can take pot shots at it, I suppose, and see how that goes. Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to eliminate all of them. Yeah, but I'm not sure that thing's going to get across there. Yeah, but still, the mission's a mission. I guess you're right, Halfling. All right, here we go. And so Fando doesn't have a bow or anything. He only has his dagger. And I'm not throwing it across there. No way. I'll never see it again. Yeah. I'll have to waste off my bolts. So I'd say she's fired off 2 bolts already, so she has 18 more. Let's see if she can hit. She's not really great with the range stuff here. So 2, 4. She gets to add +4 to this. 6. Now the snake, it's not a venomous snake, believe it or not. Needs a missed. 2 missed again. 3 hit. 5 damage. All right, so we're gonna say she eventually is gonna take that thing out, and it's gonna cost her just 2 more bolts after that one. And so they've slain the snake. Well, I think our mission's accomplished. So I'm going to roll on a 1 or 2. The bandits ambush them when they leave the delve. Nope, the bandits honored their contract they signed with them. All right, so as I don't like my videos going beyond too much of an hour, I think that was actually kind of, it's kind of fun. And I think I'm sneaking up on an hour right now. So I'm going to end this session and say that this was the area they needed to clean out. I think they did a nice job of it. Not everything had to be killed, but they asked the bandits to leave and they honored their contract. So that's fun. All right, so that was Warrior, Rogue, and Mage by Michael Wolf, also known as Stargazer from Stargazer Games. Let me know what you think about the system down in the comments below. And yeah, there's a lot to like about this system. So hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did. So until next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Mage Hammer out.